Hello there. Welcome to Magic with Melly, the YouTube channel for all things in this magical space. I am Melly. Hello. I do card readings and crystal healing here under this title, Magic with Melly. So if you need any personal card readings or personal crystal healing services, you can reach out on social media or reach out to my email, minuteswithmelly@gmail.com. So the information to connect with me should be in the description box. Do not accept anything outside of the description box. You know that it will most likely be a scam if someone is reaching out to you outside of the description box for services. Just make sure that you're safe from people who intend harm, especially those that are on a spiritual journey to do better and get better. Typically, good intentions can be sensed, and sometimes people find kindness to be a weakness, and it's definitely not. You just have to have the correct tools to figure out who deserves your kindness and who does not. And yeah, so this reading is all about people, peace, problems, projects, all things in between. So some people bring you peace. Some people bring you problems. Some problems bring you to other people. If that makes sense, like if sometimes you have a problem and you look for help and then you end up meeting somebody new. Sometimes to keep the peace, you have to create a problem. Sometimes peace and problems are like one and the same. They exist as a polarity. So you can't always be peaceful. There's always going to be something happening. Life happens. And projects. People have projects that they are wanting to work on. Some people are projecting how they feel onto somebody else and can't really know the difference, and that's a problem. Sometimes your peace is disturbed because someone's projecting how they feel onto you, and such would be being jealous of you, and then what they do when they're jealous is try and make you jealous, and that's a problem because they're jealous and they didn't know what to do with it. That's just an example. It can go for a variation of things, a variation of energies, of projecting, just having one type of energy and then putting it on someone else for them to be in the same place, or for them to essentially to be in the same place as you, right? Sometimes you see someone else and you're like, they're intimidating. Well, they're not intimidating. You are intimidated by them, right? And then it can go a long ways, like love and hate, projecting how you feel. You may have enough love for the both of you in the connection, and you may not be seeing that they have hate, any amount of hate in their heart, and people can love and hate you in the same existence. And so sometimes how they place themselves conveniently based off of whether they love you or hate you at the time, that is a problem. That disturbs your peace. There's all sorts of types of messages to be channeled here. You guys have been going through a lot with the Ten of Swords and ready to just move on, ready to see what energies to rid yourself of and what energies to tap more into. What people I should be connecting more with, what people I should detach from, places to go. I know that places aren't listed on the title, but you may be finding yourself in new places, speaking new words, being the new you. And in certain placements, it may be hard to be the new you with certain people around because they're unsupportive of what you're doing, or they don't like the project. They don't understand the decisions you made surrounding your peace. They don't understand what the problem was to begin with. Either way, all of the messages here is about communicating a lot of these to yourself. We have the Ace of Swords here as the biggest card. as like the theme card from the Giant Rider-Waite. And we also have 8 of Pentacles back of the deck and Emperor back there. So it's like essentially this turn of a new era. That's what I'm getting from Spirit, is like just a catalyst, like a change, a shift, transformation, however you want to see that. But it's all based off of this self-work, self-discovery, building your empire. Maybe some of you are literally building your business, building like who you are, understanding who you are, the lengths to which where you are on your journey is going to differ depending on if you feel ready to take the step towards your business, or if you feel ready to take steps towards yourself. All in all, there is large changes coming, and with manifesting being behind it, right? Seeing and imagining and dreaming your desires to life, like actually taking action towards what's in your heart space. And I think this is such beautiful energy. That's why the sun is here, because you guys see the light. You see the light, and it's because you've been ignited. You know, you've been either set on fire or inspired, some sort of passionate energy, or someone trying to take you down, right? Sometimes it takes losing things to want to turn things around. So here we are. If any of those messages in the beginning sounds like it suits you, please, you're welcome to stay. If this doesn't seem or feel like you're reading, you're definitely welcome to click off and click on a different reading. It doesn't have to be from my channel. It could be another channel. I just am most of all hoping everyone is doing their best and looking for their best, and that comes with finding yourself and, you know, what you can do better and what you can, and ways that you have not done better, but you know, always looking to improve that and improve your surroundings. Now, sometimes your surroundings they cause a problem. You know, they cause, like, you know, it could be a problem with being able to create your project in your surroundings, or like your surroundings create problems with other people. So this is all about the change in the right directions. I have, these are my pre-shuffled oracle cards, and then I'm going to live shuffle everything else. So I have 3 decks, and I'm going to bring back this deck to do more. So without further ado, I'm going to clear the sage, because we did start off with it burning. We're going to say our intention out loud, so just ensuring that no evil spirits, no negative energies or entities are welcome in this reading, that no evil or weapons of evil shall be successful against me, my family, my collective's family, my collective, and anybody who's cross-watching, that any bad that should come through should be for the behalf of the highest good, to be able to understand it so we could all do better, so we can all learn from our mistakes and learn from these lessons in love, and that we finally turn to love and turn to light for, you know, for one another and with one another. So let's just clear some more space real quick and get into it. So I'm gonna leave the pre-shuffled right there, and then we'll get into what's up. So collective, what's going on today? Hopefully you guys are doing well. You guys can always share how you're doing in the comments or in the live chat if you feel called to do so. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, you know, sit back and relax, and let's see what we have here for you. So we have 5 of Cups and Strength, and I'm getting these these are wanting to be more reverse, so I'm gonna have that come like so, and King of Wands. Messages for the collective, please. Let's get something else here to get out messages for the highest good of the collective. What are they needing to hear at this exact point in time to get started with our reading on behalf of the highest good of all? Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Back of the deck, Queen of Coins. Okay, friends. At this point in time, I think this message is indicating that it's taken some amount of strength to be able to indicate what's upsetting you and even communicating what's been upsetting you. This card is blue, and Five of Cups, if you can recall the Five of Cups card, there's an individual who is viewing the spilt over Three of Cups, and right behind that individual is Two Cups still upright. And so, but we're not in that deck. We're here, and we have this blue. So some of you may be just much more vocal recently, putting more strength towards your throat chakra, speaking up on how you feel, speaking up on your opinion, speaking up when, like, right when you feel like you need to speak up. Because sometimes I feel as though some in the collective have things to say but don't say them when it's the appropriate time to say it, and it could be detrimental. I think you guys are seeing that having a pause on, like, saying how you feel and maybe bringing it up later when the energy is more amplified or doubled, or, you know, like if you did from not saying things initially and then you say something later. Four of Swords reverse is like resting, having a pause. But with this Death card, I think it's this indication that your intuition saying that specific energy needs to stop, with like just say what you want to say right when you want to say it, right? Because it could be more destructive than when you had the first chance to say it. And so, and this could all be surrounding a King of Wands energy. It could be you, it could be your person, it could be your situation, but King of Wands is this energy of having control over like a fiery energy is what I'm picking up, because I didn't want to say like it's a person or anything specific like that. But King of Wands, the Wands energy is fiery energy, it is passionate energy, and kings usually have some sort of control or collectiveness in that realm. And so sometimes there is, like, especially with fiery energy, we know that fiery can be very renewing and regenerative, but it can also be destructive in a bad context, right? Because we do have controlled forest fires, right? We have those controlled fires because we have species, plant species and even animal species that require the regenerative energy that fire brings, that certain seeds from trees can't be harvested without a fire, without clearing out space, without the heat, without certain things. And so having a control over this energy, I think, is what Spirit's trying to say with this collection of cards. And that through all this time and space and energy that you are putting out into the world, like, if you have good intentions, you're going to be seeing good things. If you have bad intentions, you're going to be seeing bad things. And all, and then all things in between. If you kind of just go with everybody else, your karma, your Wheel of Fortune is going to seem or feel, or the experience is going to be chaotic, because you've been following the pursuit of others, and people are generally good or they're generally bad. And then if you're accepting, everyone in, you're going to be seeing a mix of good and bad. If you are more discerning and have better judgment, better judgments for yourself, then you can sort of navigate more good coming in and less bad coming through. Because you guys are definitely exuding this energy of the Queen of Pentacles. And I love the synchronicity that the Queen here and the 5 and even the Sun are similar, like they're bluish purple colors. I think this is really just radiating your guys' energy, where the act of wanting to speak up more and be closer to what you want. This is how you do it, is communicating with self, communicating with others about something you've received for yourself. And what I mean by something you've received, it's like, it could be advice, it could be intuitive downloads, it could be an experience that you've taken in and you just vowed to yourself you wouldn't go there again, or like certain experiences you allow or disallow. And communicating that, being very clear with things can really reduce how much you experience a bad thing, like that was a bad experience, I don't want to go back. Then no one's going to expect you to go back. But if you say that and then you do go back, that's a problem with. Make sure that you're not projecting someone else's ideas, advice, words, because it seems cool in the moment. I mean, it's all right to change your opinions and change who you are, but make sure that what you're saying and what you're doing aligns with you. Make sure that your action aligns with words and your words align with your actions, and then that both of those things align with who you want to be, who you are. Because there is a big, I guess, misunderstanding, or like some people can get really misconstrued about the type of person you are if you just follow a trend. If you're always just following a trend, you're not really a somebody. You are just you are just within that population that follows that thing. If like it could be really mind numbing and spirit numbing to just follow others so blindly and without like further thinking about, like fully thinking about whether or not that person was a good person or a bad person, whether or not you should be following suit in their behaviors. I know that there's a lot of fans of celebrities, and not all celebrities are good people. Just because they have money and success doesn't mean, success doesn't mean that they are like, that they are what they say they are, or that they are like deserving. Sometimes they were just placed into it, and like their karma is a different level of karma. I was saying that in a different reading, that sometimes source places a really bad person in the public eye so that it's literally public humiliation to be them, and they're like wishing and wanting to not have their success because it's humiliating to be themselves on a public setting. Like so many people are casting judgments on them, like they're bad, they're good, they're bad, they're good, and so just be mindful of like really who you are and who you're following, and why it matters. Like why does following a certain artist or a certain individual matter to you? Is it because someone else is interested, or is it because it's actually serving you well to pay attention to them? Because a lot of what we follow should be within mentorship, inspiration. And I find that some groups on social media are really about gossiping, are really about just knowing about stuff about one another in order to say something bad or twist the story, and that's a problem between people and people. People tend to want to create problems for people who have peace, people who have what they want. It's difficult out here. There's so much chaos out there. You just have to know what waves to ride. Imagine being like a surfer. Like you are a person, you practice surfing. Maybe one day the waves are like you can't ride. Other days you can. And it's like maybe you guys are experiencing who's your ride or die. You know, people who will ride with you, like they'll support you to the end of time. They'll love you to the end of time. And then if they don't, that's really those types of people who should die, but not like literally die, but it's like they should appear like dead to you, you know, like they don't really exist for you in your life. If you want the pure support that you're asking for and needing, you have to have this distinguished, like you're with me or you're not. People who sit in the middle are just people who are undecided towards you, and you deserve more than someone who's undecided towards you. Just point, period, blank. So maybe some messages that you guys needed to hear. What you guys could work on is your heart chakra and your solar plexus surrounding your throat chakra. I think you guys have a lot of focus on your throat chakra, but I think you guys could work on like your intuition, your heart chakra, and perhaps solar plexus, just to get some energy flow there. 'Cause sometimes you get really blocked. You know, when one thing's blocked, when one chakra is blocked, one type of energy is blocked, it could block other energies. If you don't know about chakras, we can get into a conversation. I do balance energy and balance your chakras for you using crystals. That is the personal crystal healing service. So if you suspect your energy to be off, you can reach out to me on behalf of that. But that's besides the fact. Simply knowing about where your chakras may be can already help, because you're already feeling focused towards there. So if you want to work on your intuition and strengthening your intuition, definitely feel like go for that. You know, healing your heart space. If you feel like you need to give yourself some time on your heart and, you know, heal how you have been placing yourself romantically or intimately in your relationships, all of that can be done. And then your solar plexus is about strengthening how you make decisions, like what your decision making process is, and et cetera, et cetera. So focusing specifically on those things on a personal level can already help. But if you feel like you need help helping yourself, I'm with you. Just let me know and I'll come through. And my readings and my crystal healing is accessible distance. Like I have distance sessions, so that is good to know if anyone was inquiring about that. But let's get into some of these healing messages for the collective, for the highest good of the collective. What is needing to be heard right now in order to heal? Spirit, thank you. For right now, we have, I can only give a person so much of my energy before I start losing myself too. This one says, I will not expose myself to negative stories or read awful news. It brings me down to a low vibration. So some of you get really depressed by otherworldly things, or like, you know, things that social media and the news are displaying at this point in time. But just know that if it's not related to you, it's not related to you. Sometimes it could be propaganda. You know, we are so far separated sometimes from what's actually going on around the world. And so just focus on yourself and then see how bettering your surroundings, like one person at a time or small groups at a time, can just do it for like a longer term than just hearing the bad news and thinking the whole world is crashing. No, it's not. You know, the whole world is not. It's maybe in politics, they want to make it seem that way, but it's not really, you know. It is with, you know, we get news information with an angle. So just be mindful of that. Know your intuition. That's your guidance for your highest good. Just by your touch, you know exactly where my body needs Just by your touch, you know exactly where my body needs physical healing. So some of you, I was channeling, you guys were dealing with people, you know, people giving you problems, people disturbing your peace. And so specifically, maybe you were hurting by someone specific and you miss them and you want them, you know, like you want touch or a massage or cuddling. It is all right to like have this feeling, because we do have wants and desires, and we have our right to have, you know, we have our right to want them and need them and etc. But just know that you can give yourself a hug. You can provide, you know, your body is a tool to be able to give your spirit what you need. So if you are longing for physical touch, no one but yourself is stopping you from going out and receiving what you need and want from another person. It doesn't have to be a specific person. If the person you are desiring physical touch from, intimate moments with, if they cannot or will not do that for you, the specific could be at that very moment in time. It could be a repeated offense that they just don't want to show up for you. Just know that you have the tool to be able to give yourself more and give yourself less of whatever energy you are not or are seeing. That maybe your body needs physical healing. This whole thing with touch is maybe you guys are experiencing physical pain, and when you touch these areas, it hurts. And so just know that there could be placements with like energetic placements, where if you have been energetically ignoring an area of your like emotionally, and then it could surface as a physical pain. An example would be root chakra, a root chakra situation or a crown chakra situation. If you are overthinking, you will have migraines or headaches. You will experience it on a mild case to begin with. It may be just a pressure on your crown space at first, but then if you ignore the way, like the process or the habit, the way that you're used to thinking, and you just continue on this track, it can go from normal, like a normal amount of thinking on a subject, to overthinking on a subject, and then prolonged experiences with overthinking may cause headaches. It could be related to stress. You know, you're always stressed. You're always thinking, how am I going to get this or that, this or that, this or that? Like, how am I going to get through this? Constantly stressing over is not really going to do anything about it. Like, the action that you do towards alleviating that will help you with the stress, instead of just sitting and stressing out. But this just an example, is that if you see physical pain in certain areas, it could be energetic blocks, energetic sticky ickies in your chakras that have been a long time of ignoring or not realizing what the root of the issue could be. It could be sacral chakra stuff, where like sacral has to do with inner child healing and sexual trauma and sexual activity and creating life, reproduction, anything in that regard. If you see pain in this area, you could have had trauma in in that space, or not giving yourself what you need energetically in that space. Your root chakra, you could experience leg pain, foot pain, all sorts of energies like that. So just know that if your body is experiencing a sensation, a pain, or anything like that, you are welcome to be open to what be more open to what your body needs, because your body is like your life force. Like, and we have more than one types of energies that exist within our bodies. So and they all coexist, but they all exist differently. So sometimes a problem is specifically for one area, and then if one area is having a problem, it can extend to the other areas too. So I think that's what you guys are learning with fixing your throat chakra, is that not speaking up could have a ripple effect on things, such that, for an example, is for those who are experiencing emotional manipulation or physical abuse, one or the other or both, that if you don't say anything, it may cause more problems. Someone may end up abusing you. I'm hearing stealing, I'm hearing rape, I'm hearing cheating, I'm hearing like all sorts of awful energies. Whatever is correct for you, it would be validating. It would be something that is a repeat message. And if there's anything new here in this reading, please make sure that it is something that you need to know, and not something that is here for somebody else. This is just a reminder of that message, because I just do not want to be feeding any of you guys something new and you guys just take it and roll with it. Really just reflect on anything new that you receive, if it's true for your storyline or not. So in the middle or after readings, please at least give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to be like, to really process all the information you receive. Because again, with compulsive, not again, but like just, I don't want you to take something new and just roll with it, right? Because that would be really compulsive. We have the compulsive behaviors card. It says, identify your internal feelings. What are you looking to control or feel for the moment? So sometimes how you feel, if you're energetically off balance, you could be into like keeping something how you feel like in, and not know that how you feel is a really sick way of seeing and looking at things. And then sometimes, what are you looking to control or feel for the moment? Sometimes how you feel on the inside, you look for it everywhere else. And so if you're really unhappy with your life, you look for ways to make yourself further unhappy. Sometimes you look for ways to make other people unhappy. And this could be you or somebody else. It could be anybody that I'm talking about in this reading. It's just like me channeling the energies here. And compulsive behaviors is really just knowing that you are really sensitive in that energy. And sometimes you really take it and you like really blow it up more, like out of proportion. And some of you have dealt with that, whether it was you doing it to yourself or someone else doing it to you. It disturbed many things, like the progress of your project, the progress of your own self-healing, having your peace disturbed. That's a problem. And so we really want to further understand what's up. So give me more messages, please, Spirit. Give me some more messages on what's going on for the collective. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to only take the ones that are face up to help us out a little bit. Because that's a lot. All right, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. So first off, we have, I need to love myself first before loving anyone else. Big reminder there. You can't love someone else if you don't even know how to love yourself. There's very unique tools that you learn from loving yourself first. That the possibility of loving another or someone else loving you, it just can't happen until you've loved yourself first. You won't be able to see who loves you until you like are in alignment there. You're going to be taking in what you deserve, essentially, what you think you deserve. And so if you don't love yourself, you're going to be taking in people who don't love you. Now, that's not completely, like, that does have a margin of error, because people have their individual and unique feelings and experiences towards you. But it's just like, yeah, sure, you may have people who love you around you, but you're going to accept them and repel them to the measurements of which you think you deserve. Does that make sense? Like, someone can absolutely love you, but then one day you're going to repel them and they won't love you anymore, because their love for you will diminish to the love that you have for yourself. So even if it starts with amazing potential, it's beautiful, gorgeous, like the love of a lifetime to begin with, that is energy on the potential, but then it does get diminished by how much, like, you know, how much love you have for yourself. It will one day match that, you know, like what starts off as intense and amazing, it may not last as that if you don't have that everlasting energy within yourself. You just prioritize yourself last again. Why? So yeah, a lot of times it will be diminished to the love that you have for yourself, because, like, you know, maybe someone will keep you around for as much as you can love them. And it's like, okay, but then when you get tired of loving them over yourself, like making yourself a last priority, it shows them that you're also a last priority. You know, it's like this interesting energy, the energy exchanges, it will just naturally become that over time. And so if you want like an everlasting love or everlasting abundance and success and these amazing placements there, you have to look for that for yourself. You can't just think someone can give it to you. You can't think that it's somewhere else. Everything that you will ever need or want is within you. You are the tool. You are the magic. And we share it. We share love. We share magic. We share these beautiful things. They're not just something that's given or taken by somebody. You access it within yourself. That's a power. This card, past. You felt powerless. Now you have control over your current circumstances and the choices you make. So some of you are in relationships based off of how you feel. And you can see how much that is fixable. You know, like what your choices, like if your past choices can be adjusted or maneuvered in a way that is fixable, helpable. But sometimes, a lot of times we find that we gave ourselves an impossible puzzle to solve. And it's like one of those things where you have to just get rid of the past energy, the past decision, and everything related to that. So it could be a past decision to be at a job, right? At a job that you didn't like. And so now you have to drop the job and go towards a job or career that you do like. Maybe it's dropping a person that you chose when you didn't love yourself, and now you find that they don't love you as much as you thought that they did or would. You have to kind of drop that and everything by association, or to whatever degree you feel comfortable with. You don't have to make such extreme changes, but Spirit is indicating that how you feel is really important, and what you do with how you feel is also really important. And so doing nothing, you know, feeling this Ten of Swords energy and doing nothing about it, that is very, very destructive to yourself. You're going to lead yourself into depression and anxiety and all these other mental disorders and physical, like, pain, like, what's going to start off as energetic pain is going to become physical pain. People who literally have heart problems, lung problems, is because they didn't heal something in their heart chakra. They feel either overprotected or not protected enough when it comes to love, and all sorts of layers of things there. But this card says, I want to go out of my way to do things for you. Send someone thoughts of love and light. Watch it return back to you. I am inspirational. Listen, reflect, feel, and don't expect. My words must align with my actions in order for my child to trust me. I mentioned that before, and this card came out when it comes to children. So you may be dealing with a child, and children are way, way more energetically sensitive than we are as adults. Sometimes we desensitize ourselves, especially this, like, our current society tries to desensitize us from what's normal. We have very extreme versions of what things should or could be on social media and in marketing. And marketing is really meant to make something seem attractive or appealing, but I think it's really gone rampant in a wrong direction. These projects within marketing is highlighting maybe like some of the best and worst things, and everybody who's caught up in the middle, like, it doesn't really sit well, right? And so it's like, we as a society, we're desensitized, but children aren't really exposed to society. They're not really exposed to all that much, except for the family home and what you show your kid. And so make sure that you're showing your kids alignment. Your words, your promises matching your actions matching your promises. And I think this is a message that was maybe missed in a different reading, but take extra care to be direct with the children in your life. Sure, you do to some degree have to deal with the parent of the children. Maybe you have a baby mama or baby daddy you have to deal with, and you are either with them or not with them, whatever it is. The children, like, people can lie. So if you're dealing with a person who is notorious for lying and notorious for doing bad behaviors, bad actions, do not trust them to talk to your child on behalf of you. They could sabotage your image and your promises and things, saying to you that the kid is sick, or saying to you that the kid is busy, saying to you that the kid is doing this thing that they can't, and then vice versa, then telling the kid that you broke a promise. But there was a lie somewhere, right? Like, so just make sure you're as direct with your kid as possible, that the same communication that you want to go to your kid through the parent, that you somehow find a way to directly send the same message. Like, maybe set up a group message, maybe set up a way for your kid to have more direct access to you instead of through the means of another person, whether it's sister, brother, co-parenting, other family members. Like, if there's kids that are important to you in your life, whether or not they're directly your kid or not, try and be as direct with them as possible, especially when you know it's vulnerable to being done dirty, or like some people are just really interesting with like keeping the position that they have in their life. What I mean by that is some people just really love being the favorite, or being the boss, or being like supervisor. And when another individual comes in, it can be seen as competition, and it's just like, maybe they feel really disrespected by just the existence of somebody being in your life, or being around you, or being around your kid, or just in general, right? And then people unravel because they can't handle a certain truth. When I feel disrespected, instead of addressing it, I'll start an argument. Some of you are seeing this. This is some people just not, like, with that throat chakra energy earlier, it's just like not knowing what to say or not knowing how to handle a situation. Then it just becomes an argument. And it's like distressing and disturbing and not fun to deal with, and not very healthy at all. Like, if you really feel that disrespected, just leave the situation alone. Like, just don't return to the energy that disrespected you in the first place. Like, have boundaries over that. But instead, people want to add more energy to the problem rather than just solve the problem by doing nothing towards it. If that makes sense. Like, some problems are just unsolvable because they're someone else's problem. And that's a projection where they didn't feel good. So what did they do? They started an argument rather than figuring out how to place themselves better. And most times placing yourself better comes with boundaries and not talking to the person anymore. But someone who's disrupted, disturbed, that projection, they'll spread the energy. So if they're disturbed, their spirit's disturbed, they intend to disturb your spirit if you were the one that disturbed them. And it's like, sometimes just being you disturbs people. That's a problem. But are you really actually a problem? No. If you have good intentions, you're not a problem. Some people have bad intentions and do this shit on purpose. And this is the question really is, am I truly loving myself enough to love another person? Because some of you think that like some of you experience love through hurting other people. That's not love. You don't hurt, like you don't truly love yourself or anybody. Like it's like some of you are holding this energy of hate towards anything and everything. And that's because like your entire empire may be built, empire and built, emperor and the Eight of Pentacles, your entire empire could be built on people and things and places that don't serve you, that aren't good for you, because you chose those things. You chose those things in the past, and continuing to choose those things now is like, now you're questioning yourself and questioning everything around you. But why did I choose this? Like, you know, like, why am I like repeatedly upset by this person? Why did I think this person was so important, so cool, so blah, 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 if now they're doing this? It's like, people will project a certain way of being or an image or etc. to get what they want. But when it's harder to get what they want from you, or when they just can't get what they want from you, they're going to just stop putting up that front. And so I think that's where some of you have found yourself, is trusting lies. And that comes from from not trusting yourself and not loving yourself, like not seeing certain energies as what they really are, and taking in a lot of lies and misalignments and disrespect, and like seeing an inspirational being and not reflecting on what it is for you, like what it should be for you. Because it really is, inspiration and competition have the same, like the same people are involved, but competition takes the others out, and inspiration says that there's room for everybody. That everybody has a spot, everybody is on their own journey, but competition is like saying there's only one spot and everybody else has to be taken out. That is not true of the universe. Like someone who is inspirational and good for you, you shouldn't be trying to take them out. You should be trying to follow suit of them and, you know, return to how you should be around yourself, like how you should treat yourself lovingly and with kindness and patience, and understanding that just like other people make mistakes, just like you forgive other people for their mistakes, just like you love and care for other people, you deserve that from yourself first and foremost, and then you share it with other people. So I feel like we need a little bit more, Spirit. Thank you for the messages up till now. Not every problem needs a solution. I was saying, like, sometimes the solution is just taking yourself out of the problem. That the problem maybe wasn't even yours, you know? That aura of yourself, that aura of yours is shining bright. Our ego is what we know and who we believe ourselves to be. This has a significant effect on our relationships. You told yourself to try harder with communicating effectively. Now is the time. Messages for the collective. I am a creator. This one says, I am in alignment with the universe. And we have forgive self, accept what has happened, and give yourself grace to make mistakes. And my child may act more advanced than their age, but I must treat my child of their age. That's very important. I have always been more mature for my age, and that's because of how I grew up. And then at some point, people thought that they can come to me for their, like my parents, one parent specifically thought that they can come to me for advice, and knowing about my parents' relationship problems was not, that's not appropriate, you know, like, and so treat your child as such. Like, this could be the message for you, is not to talk about co-parenting or the other parent or anything like that with your children, that they may be confused, but you should also, you know, have an appropriate conversation with that, right? Like sometimes learning about something too soon it's detrimental to their, like, where they're at. Accepting what has happened, give yourself grace to make mistakes. Of course you will make mistakes, so you have to constantly forgive yourself for what you didn't know, and what you did based off of what you didn't know. A lot of lessons don't come, like the whole point is like you had an experience to show you the lesson, so don't feel bad that you didn't know the lesson before. The experience had to happen first and then the lesson. Then make sure you learn it and don't like do the same thing again, or don't like place yourself in the same place again. Sometimes that comes with saying goodbye to people or having boundaries on people, like just knowing that like you just don't want to like repeat, like if you don't want to be hurt again, then why are you back with your ex? If you don't want to hurt again, why are you still hanging out with a bad friend? Like this is like energy like this, like you need to forgive yourself, but forgiveness does not come with attachment to what hurt you. Like that's up to you if you think that is deserved. But some of you may need to be careful of being over attached, like having a attachment issue. Because if someone does you wrong, they don't deserve to be in your life unless they have done corrective action. If you've seen corrective action, okay, give them the grace, give them another chance. But if there isn't corrective action, they don't have to stay attached to your life. They don't. Like that's a choice that you can have, and like you're the one who lives your life. So if you see repeat offenses from people, that's a problem. And you wonder why your peace is constantly disturbed. You're bringing yourself back over and over again. Look into moon energy for your highest desires. This could be very significant for you guys. You know, we go through cycles just like the moon does, and maybe you could see synchronicities between the cycle that the moon is in and its zodiac placement and how you're feeling and what you're doing. So maybe you can manifest with the moon, you can manifest with crystals, you can manifest with your own energy, just taking action based off of what you want and things. The energy is just having the power to do what you want. So let's see what else is here for the collective. I am grateful. Be extra mindful of holding gratitude. Always saying thank you to anything and anybody that is giving to you. People do not have to do things for you. People do not have to give to you, even if they are married to you, even if they're your sister, brother, mom, dad, cousin, co-workers, friends. Like, just because they've done it in the past doesn't mean they have to keep doing it. That doesn't mean they will keep doing it. You have to be thankful and appreciate them, or they're gonna be gone. Because that energy of like not being grateful, of just expecting that they're always going to be there, they're always going to do what you ask them to do, always gonna whatever, without saying thank you, that shit's gonna go away so fast. And it harbors resentment. Like people aren't going to want to do things for you if you don't say thanks or acknowledge what they even did for you. And it could be this energy where some of you have seen credit go to someone where it's not even deserved, that the credit was stolen, that the credit was placed onto something or somebody else. Knowing your own darkness is the best. So realizing, essentially like realizing how bad you can get, that's also how bad it could be for somebody else. So just be kind, you know, that you even get to share space and share stories and share tears and laughter. Whatever the case or cause may be, be grateful for all the experiences, even if it's someone who caused you a great deal of pain. Still be thankful for them, because they taught you something. They taught you that they didn't love you, but they also taught you that you didn't love you. And now is the change. Now you can love you. Now you can find people who love you, and that is a very big thing to be grateful for. Even if you had a great deal of pain being sent your way, you can create anything with the universe. You can be in alignment with the universe. You are in alignment with the universe. You, like, everything that has happened up till now, it happened for a reason, to show you that whatever path you're on couldn't continue, and that you need to be on the path, that you got redirected, and you're always going to be on the right path. You can't be accidentally on the wrong path, but you can experience delays, and you can experience like branches, like there's like the same destination is just learning about yourself and being with yourself, loving yourself, and like fulfilling your life purpose, which is just knowing who you are and expressing it. That's really like our life purpose. And but some of you don't really know who you are, like what type of person you are, what things make you happy, what things bring you joy, what things like, you just don't know yourself that intimately until you go through certain experiences and analyze and reflect in that regard. This deck, I combine the Archangels deck and life purpose cards. So this could be validation for something you're holding in your mind or heart space. Maybe you are already feeling a certain type of way about who you are. Maybe it could be validating of like a place that you, like an energy or position that you are in right now. Just know that you may see a synchronicity, or you may see validation here, or advice or messages that you need related to the situation, whatever it is. I mixed 2 decks together, so it's going to be a mixture. So let's see what the collective is needing at this point in time for their reading, for the highest good, and bringing people onto corrective action for their path. Diminishing any delays that we've seen up till now, and really going full forward with focus. What does the collective need right now? Spirit, thank you. Thank you. Let's see what these say real quick. So this says, teaching and learning. Archangel Zadkiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. That's how you can strengthen your learning, is being able to turn around and teach it. Even if you're not a very good teacher, you can become in greater and better practice by learning something new, then taking what you've learned and strengthening it by, I learned this, now I am able to teach it. And so then you double up on what you learned, and then it can be more of a cycle if you do this for yourself. Brilliant idea, Archangel Uriel. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. Artist, engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. Now, we're all creators. We're all meant to be an artist of some sort. Maybe it's just a matter of finding your art, finding what it is that you channel your energy into that makes you feel like you. It could be a very niche art, like an art that's not, like, we typically think of art as like arts and crafts. We think of painting and sculpting, and we think of drawing, and we think of all sorts of things, writing stories as art. But there's so many other art forms that we don't commonly discuss. So your art form, you'll know it or be familiar with it, and most times your life purpose is something related to a love interest that you had when you were a kid, something you really, really loved to do when you were a kid. And my storyline is I always loved shuffling cards. Like, I used to play solitaire and war, and I used to play all these games with myself, but most of all, I would just shuffle, bridge shuffle over and over and over again. I loved it. And now look at me, I'm shuffling all the time. And so just know that whatever your art is, it's probably something you experienced in your childhood era. And if it's not that, it's something that you discovered that you feel passionately about, that you, like, once you discovered it, you couldn't live without it. This card says, Archangel Haniel, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So whatever you do, it should be of passion, because otherwise you're just going to be feeling miserable at work, miserable at home, miserable like wherever you go. Speaker, your life purpose involves your skills of oration. Breathe. Or Archangel Raphael, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. Leadership, Archangel Gabriel, it's time for you to assume your leadership, power, and position and lovingly guide others. We have creative expression, your soul longs to express itself creatively. Clear your space, Archangel Jophiel, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. So creative expression, like I was saying, like you just need to be able to express yourself creatively, like whatever that means, that's going to be your art. So it could be something that's not normal to like commonly accept as art, but it's art in itself because it's how you're expressing yourself. Art is just an expression of us, an expression of history, an expression of like, it's just a replica of who we are on the inside. And it doesn't have to be like matching like a bowl of fruit, like you look at a bowl of fruit and then you paint a bowl of fruit. Like art, like there's abstract art for a reason. It's people channeling the colors within, how they feel within is showed as a color. So maybe you could be just exploring in this realm of how can I express myself? Am I expressing myself with words? Am I expressing myself with visuals? Am I expressing myself with dance moves? Because it doesn't have to be like, your art doesn't have to be visible. It could just be a way to express yourself, like a way to like channel how you feel out. Maybe it's going out dancing, maybe it's going out singing, maybe it's going out and discovering a new hobby. Clear your space. But if you are wanting to be like practice a hobby, make sure you have the space for it, because it could really harbor a negative thing to want something and then not have the means to do it. So make sure that you make space for it. Could be moving locations, could be changing jobs, could be changing like, you know, like if you want to change partners, make sure that your previous partner is gone. Like all sorts of things like that. Clearing space is not just physical space, it's energetic space. So if you want love in your life, make sure that you get rid of things that don't show you love. If you want love, if you want a specific connection in your life, make sure that the people who matched that position before and it didn't work out, that they cannot affect anybody new coming in. Children and freedom and compassion. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and helping children. You're free to do what you choose. Maybe you may be choosing like a hobby based off of your kids, that if you can't find something for yourself, maybe your purpose is related to your kids, being there for your kids, allowing freedom and love to flow to your kids. Because maybe your purpose is you didn't see it before and now you want to like channel it into the next generation. Like, never mind what I need, what does my kid need, you know? And so just know your placements, because not everyone in this collective is going to have kids. Not everyone in this collective is going to want kids. But just know that the teaching and healing element is coming out heavy, and the art and passion is coming out heavy, and being able to communicate this to yourself. You could really communicate that to yourself through breathing. Breathe, like big on breathing here, because we had it here and we had it in another card. So just taking that time to deeply breathe in and out your thought process, and just, it could be a meditative thing or just a few minutes. uncompromising. Think about being fair and working in harmony with another person. Harmony, big key word there. Harmony is like removing the negativity and working together despite similarities and differences. Because compromise is like, compromise, I think like promising with company. It's like, you can't be negative when it comes to the company you keep. Otherwise, your company is not going to want to be around anymore. And so, like, see how you can work in that energy, just refraining from being negative. If you find yourself to be negative around another person, don't be around them. They say misery loves company, and it's like, no thanks. Just say no thanks. Unless you really do want to be there for them. Of course, you care and love for people, but make sure that the help that you give isn't removing from the help they can do for themselves, because that could really hurt. That could be disharmonious, or, you know, whatever that word is. So if you want to be harmonious, just know that it has to be with the capacity to which it doesn't bring you to a negative space, nor the person that you're helping to. So helping, just remember that helping someone too much can be a problem also. How are you that patient? Amazing. So some of you, this energy with compromise and what not to compromise with, it does take patience to be able to see things out fully. And that's kind of a hard wrap to like understand, but I think you'll get it if there's something that you like, something specific you're going through. And this card says 9 of metal, luck. So some of you could be working with metal, but that doesn't have to be significant. Maybe you guys will do jewelry or bend metal of some sort. Maybe the books by Brandon Sanderson are familiar or significant for you. The Mistborn series and all that could be for you. But we are also seeing the fire here, the fire element many times. We have mistrust, inspiration, and triumph. So luck, we have luck, home, mistrust, inspiration, triumph. It's a 9 of metal, 8 of metal, 9 of fire, ace of fire, 6 of fire. See one more card here, Spirit. The stomach, fairness. It says justice. The back of the deck says 5 of water, grief. Now, you guys, it's okay to be going through something. I think a majority of you kind of are. With that 10 of swords coming out big time, you're either are grieving or you will be grieving just certain connections that don't serve you. Maybe they did serve you at one point, and then it's like on and off, or it's just off, or you're turning on or off towards somebody so that you can be more on towards your passions, like whatever it is. I think you guys are starting to feel really lucky that you have a place to be. That some of these mistrusts and all the misguidances, sure, it sucks to go through it, but it kind of re-inspired some of you to be more successful, to be stronger, to do, like, it shaped you. The experiences shaped you. And I think the Spirit is really indicating just mostly to be fair to yourself and take care of your stomach. Some of you don't eat when you're stressed. Some of you don't eat because you want to maintain a body image or a specific image. And like the collective, you guys need to really be fair to yourselves. Like it is a basic necessity. Food, water, cleanliness, and air. So please, when everything else is in shambles, being destroyed, you're going through it, at least give yourself your basic necessities: food, water, shelter, breath. cleanliness, you know, that shelter, you know, being able to take care of like your like cleaning yourself and all that. Because this grieving process, it's gonna come and go in waves, is what I'm getting from Spirit. It's not like it ever stops one day. It just gets easier to deal with. And I think this is what you need to like triumph, is how you can get through your toughest times. Sure, it may be easy to experience your best times, be like, well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, if you don't know how to handle your bad times, you're not going to see very many of those good times either, right? Like, if you really just let like, ignore the bad experiences and let it fester, like, this is kind of what this is all about, is understanding the bad to do better and keep consistently being better. So I love this energy overall for you. I'm going to finally get into the pre-shuffled. So we have purification. My energy field is being cleansed of all that I do not need. Embracing. I embrace and love all of my life. Light. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. Love. I am wonderful. I receive and give love today and always. Release. So releasing anywhere where you're feeling sadness or unhappy with where you are or with what happened. Just know that it had to happen the way it did, because there was a lesson to be learned, or the service was met. Workaholic. Some of you need to release this overworking energy because you don't have enough time for your art. That maybe some of the energy to avoid your grief is like you release the excessive energy at work, but you're not actually addressing the problem. You're just taking a problem and putting another problem into your life, because workaholic could be like having grief is exhausting, and then you guys overexhaust yourself by overworking. Does that make sense? Like you take one energy that you can't handle and then you place it somewhere else and think you feel balanced, you feel normal, you feel okay, but it's just a distraction. So just be careful about that energy. Make sure you're actually directly addressing how you feel and what it's really about, and not placing the energy somewhere else. Facade, because some of you guys are building facades based off of a love that's not there, or like an energy that's not there anymore, an energy that's past. So you guys need to do yourself the service to open up to your friends, open up to your loved ones. Soulmate is not just like a love interest or love, you know, it's really just people who love you, whether it's friends, family, coworkers. Like, just if you feel like there's love like that there, open up to them. Be on a quest to find these people if you don't feel like you have them, because a lot of things are going to be dissipating, that aren't, you know, things that are not true. Those things are going to be dissipating while you're on your quest. It is going to be bittersweet to experience things falling apart and things coming together, but it's Spirit saying it's going to be worth it. You just have to give yourself the patience to see it all the way through. And sometimes you can't see things all the way through until you actually give yourself the chance to begin. Place yourself there. You know, it could be being away from people and problems and being more towards peace, you know, just taking care of your projects that bring you peace. All sorts of energies like that. And these cards are synchronicities. It's from the synchronicity deck that I have by the Aura Unicorn, also renamed as Alula Art on Instagram. So if you are interested in any design, digital design, she does that. And there's plenty of other artists too that do that, but she's the one that made these cards. She's a wonderful boss lady who has overcome so much. But just a little story on her. But these are, you know, we have the turtle card, we have coins, balloon, rainbow, diamond, hammer, eggs, aroma, 1212, and binoculars. So any of these objects could be, they can hold significance. Maybe you have a specific smell that you like on your sexual counterpart, whether it's male or female. It could be male, male, female, female, male, female. whatever it is for you. But they may have, certain smells may trigger something for you. Some of you may have been doing egg cleanses or just ready for a new start, ready to celebrate, ready to create life. Maybe you are pregnant or want to be pregnant. Binoculars. There are people who are admiring of you, and they may be viewing you from afar. So just be careful about that. They could have good or bad context. I think here it's about a secret admirer that needs to reveal themselves. But I think in the other notion, I think just some people are just really curious about what you're going to do next, especially if you're making changes like this. They're going to be lurking, trying to see what you're doing. So just be mindful of who you want to be seeing your next steps, because sometimes the alignment or misalignment can be like a bittersweet energy. It could be good or bad, or a little bit of both. If you want to keep it clean, if you leave somebody, you need to leave everybody else by association, just because if you don't want any information to go back to that person you're leaving, then you can't have shared friends and shared coworkers and things like that. Like, the stuff gets really messy when you are stuck or stay in the same place as where you've been hurt. You really can't heal where you've been hurt. You have to take time and space away from where you've been hurt in order to heal. So maybe that's a message for you. We have turtle, timeout, caution, patience, stand still, slow down. So I was just saying, like, time away. It is going to be some time. Turtles are really slow for things to grow. Coins here, though, is all about that abundance. It could be financial abundance, quite literally, but it could be just abundance in general. Just having the value in your life come through, whether it's, valuable connections or valuable money that will help you spend to grow your projects, business, whatever it is. You guys have goals. You guys, like, there's so much blossoming here with this, and Hammer's really just putting in that hard work so you can be a diamond, so you can shine like a rainbow, so you can fly high. Like, all of these energies, it's beautiful, beautiful energy. The back of the deck here was destiny, purpose, direction, and spiritual path, webs. So all beautiful energies here. I just want to get maybe a few more cards out for the collective to see what advice or thing that they may be needing right now to finish the reading. Actually, we're ending up on the reading right now. So what else is the collective in need of seeing or experiencing for this reading, for the reading to stick? What is the collective needing for their highest good for the reading to stick? We have horns and red rose, power, control, strength, and dominance. And we have love, passion, romantic, innocent, and enchantment. So I think you guys should just take your own love and happiness into your own hands. Literally take the bull by the horns and show it who's boss. And cut away negativity. Betrayal, severed, loss, cut away negativity. Like, really just cut those out of your life that has put you there. I think that's it. I have no more for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. For the most part, I really hoped it, pointed things in the right direction for you, whether it's being closer to a specific someone, being in a specific location to get you where you want, opening yourself up to those opportunities. Like I was saying in the beginning of the reading, sometimes problems push you to the help that you want, then actually seeking that help brings you to meet people that you need to be meeting. Sometimes a problem brings you the people that you need. Sometimes having peace creates problems because other people have problems with you having peace. All this energy it's so layered, so everyone's unique placements are theirs. And so I'm so thankful I can channel so many messages and for it to apply to so many different people on so many different wavelengths as well. Everyone's on their unique journey. And the fact that my intentions are that it points you in the right direction. It either points out the bad people so you could know what to do with them, or points you towards how to get more like of the good things that you want, places, people, projects, like all those things. So hopefully you've taken everything that you need here. Please give yourself the few minutes to process all the information. There are various, people, places, projects that could apply. All sorts of things running through your intuition and your thoughts all at once. So really give that time to process what all of it means together, because while it could all be there in your mind space, but it just like creativeness and creation can be really chaotic. It may appear in your mind space really chaotic, and this reading even comes out chaotic because it's everyone's chaos being channeled together. So really process it in a streamline where it makes sense for you. Apply things that make sense for you. Leave everything else that doesn't make sense either to be processed later or just it's not your problem. Like how that card earlier, not every problem needs a solution. So maybe there's a problem here that's not yours. So all in all, this was the reading. Thank you so much for sharing this magical space with me. Goodbye.